My name's Will Harris, and White Oak Pastures is my farm in Bluffton, Georgia. It's a multi-generational farm, been in my family since 1866, and the sixth generation of my family is currently living on the farm. Teeming with life is what you have when all the cycles of nature are operating. And that's my job as a land steward. Every species has something to offer the biome, the ecosystem. John Muir was a hero of mine. Muir Woods in North San Francisco is named after him. And he said something to the effect that in nature, when you pull a string, you see everything's connected. And I've seen that, and it's so true. I really enjoy finding those strings. And sometimes you can't find them. Sometimes they're just beyond our comprehension and perception. You just got to have the faith that there's a reason for it to be there. That's the reason I gave up pesticides. I used to use pesticides to kill what I perceived as an undesirable species. And I was really good at that. I knew what killed what and how much to use and when to use it. Then I came to realize that all of those products that I was using to kill something has unintended consequences. It kills other things that shouldn't be killed, and you're basically just treating symptoms. It's not a cure, it's treating symptoms. Herbicide, insecticide, fungicide, pesticide. Side means kill. And we're not smart enough, humans are not smart enough to know what needs killing and what doesn't need killing. We're smart enough to know how to kill things. We can figure that out. We're really good at technology, but we're not good at knowing what needs to be done. Now, my time and effort and energy is to make things grow and thrive and prosper. And it makes things I want to grow. It makes things I may not necessarily want to grow, but there's a benefit to it. All these species are here for a purpose. When we changed the way we farm and got the cycles of nature reinvigorated, a lot of different species of plants and animals, and I'm sure microbes showed up, and ibises is one of them. They were always considered to be a Florida marsh bird, but now we've got them all over the farm for most of the year. It's just a sign of the ecological health, I think. We talk about the cycle of life is birth, growth, death, decay, birth, growth, death, decay, birth, growth, death, decay. What people forget is that everything that lives or has ever lived dies or will die. And everything that any living being ingests nutritionally used to be a living thing. And in a thriving ecosystem, nothing stays dead for long, because when a living thing dies, whether it's a sequoia or you and I or a mouse, in a thriving ecosystem, it will be reconsumed, birth, growth, death, decay. And this is part of that. We slaughter cows, hogs, sheep, goats, rabbits, and poultry on this farm. And we generate about 9 tons a day of what's called packing plant waste. It's what can't be monetized, not something that people or animals would want to eat. So we bring that 9 tons a day, 5 days a week, 9 tons a day up here, and we compost it. Composting is a carbaceous material and a nitrogen material put together. And through chemical and microbial action, it's turned into good organic matter that feeds the soil, feeds the microbes in the soil more specifically. And that's what we do here. And the nitrogen material for us is the 9 tons of packing plant waste. I call it a nutrient stream, but they call it a waste stream. The industry calls it a waste stream. We compost it with wood chips or peanut shells, which are the carbon material. And we make what I think is the most wonderful compost in the world, because it's the essence of life, animal life and plant life, put through that microbial / chemical process, and very natural. And then we spread the compost back. Industrial agriculture breaks the cycles of nature. And what we do reinvigorates those cycles of nature. And the cycles of nature are the carbon cycle, the water cycle, the microbial cycle, the energy cycle, the mineral cycle, probably some other cycles we don't even recognize. But when you have all those cycles operating properly, it yields an abundance, the abundance of nature. We humans want to make everything so linear, especially we Western humans. It needs to be very linear. And that's the way I used to farm. And then I came to realize this cyclical nature, that is the way nature operates. That's the way everything is here in nature. It's very cyclical. When we make it linear, it's highly scalable, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. When it's cyclical, it's highly replicatable, but doesn't get bigger and bigger and bigger. That's what we've done in agriculture. We made it so linear and so scalable that it's become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And now it's so big it can't survive. In the pandemic, the headlines on CNN said that the CEO of Tyson said the American food system is falling apart. And he's right. And it was falling apart because it has become so big and so efficient that it had lost all its resilience. Efficient and resilient are like the antithesis of each other. You make a business like our farm highly resilient, you give up some efficiency. If you make a business highly efficient, like Tyson and JBS and Smithfield and Cargill and the other big farming companies, big meat companies, you get super incredible efficiency, but you lose the resilience. And that's what we've done. We've grown businesses of our food system so big that they're too big to survive.